Hello everyone, this is just a dad. Today I'm going to show you how to make an iced coffee in this brand new Mr. Coffee Perfect Brew coffee maker. This is a $300 coffee maker from Mr. Coffee. It is SCA approved, and earlier I did a regular coffee into this full pot of carafe. It made a really nice tasting hot coffee, but we also have a different setting. We have over ice, that's what we're going to do right now. And for today's coffee, I'll be using my very own Just a Dad Simple Sip coffee. You can buy it at justadadcoffee.com. Or right underneath the video, you'll see the coffee pop up and you can click on it and it will take you right to this website where you can purchase it. It comes in ground coffee, whole bean, or even the K-Cup. It stands up to hot or ice. I'm going to be brewing mine over ice today. Earlier I did a hot coffee, tasted great. The biggest thing is I don't know yet if this is worth $300. It's a $300 Mr. Coffee maker. So far, it's a great coffee maker. That's just going to be a really high price point. But let's get on to the over ice coffee maker. I do have an earlier video where I do an unboxing. I show you how to set it up for the first time. I go through all the settings, how to set the time, and all the different modes. So around back, we do have to fill up. It has a removable water reservoir. We're going to fill that all the way up. And I like that it's removable so you can clean it really easy. And it slides right on real easy. It's got a nice little lid. Okay, up top, we do have a coffee basket and a tea basket. Now they are different because they're going to activate different micro switches. So see, we have two micro switches. One is for coffee, one is for tea. So the machine will know whichever basket you have in there. That's because they're different. The filters are the same, but they give you two filters so that you don't carry taste over. So if you make tea with this, you don't want to use the same filter. This is a reusable filter. It's like a plastic screen. You can use a number 4 cone filter in there, paper filter. So if you don't want any sediment, use a number 4 cone filter, but you cannot use them both at the same time. Take the cone filter, paper filter, put it in here like that, and put your coffee right there. Which I think that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to use the paper filter. Got a nice brew head. Now the more I use this coffee maker, the more I'm starting to like it. Since I have the coffee filter in, the coffee light is lit up. If I had the tea one, this wouldn't be lit up and it would have different settings. But we're going to press this button to change whether we're going to select what we're going to brew or how much, depending on where this light is. So press the button. It's over here. Now when I rotate the knob, I did a hot coffee. That's just like a standard hot cup of coffee. Let's do over ice. My next video is going to be espresso cold brew, so we'll check that out. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is press this button. This takes me over to this side where I can do either a full carafe, a 16 ounce, or a 12 ounce. I can't do an 8 ounce. Now, the next thing is really nice. It tells you how many scoops to add. I'm going to do, let's do a 12 ounce. So I'm going to add 1.5 ounces of coffee. They do give you a chart for iced coffee, which is a little bit different than standard hot coffee. Actually, I stand corrected. It's the exact same dosing. We're going to get a different amount of water, but it's going to be a concentrated coffee you're going to brew into ice. But for 12 ounces, we're going to do 1.5 scoops or 20 grams of coffee. So I have determined that they classify this as a full scoop when it's about right to this level right here, right about there. All the way to the top is a little bit too much. And right down here where this frosted area is a little bit, that's 2 tablespoons. To the top is 3. Right there in the middle, that's about the gram, about 20 grams. So 1.5 of these scoops. We're going to a freshly ground coffee. And the fresher the coffee, the better. All right, we're going to put 1.5 scoops right there. Okay, so I've got my Mars tumbler underneath here, 14 ounces. So I've got it full of ice. The coffee's going to brew hot. It's going to melt the ice. But what's going to happen is it's not going to brew a full 12 ounces of hot coffee. It's going to brew something less. Typically it brews about half, so about 6 ounces. It melts the ice. Then you have the proper dilution. The coffee's cold, it's been diluted, and it's at the proper strength. You can do that with a full carafe too. Just fill the carafe up with ice. There's the over ice line. You're going to fill the carafe up up to this point with ice. It brews coffee in here. It doesn't brew a full carafe. Now, if I had it selected on hot, it would brew a full pot. But it knows when you got it on over ice, even though you're calling for 12 ounces, you're going to end up with 12 ounces after the ice, with the ice, and after the ice melts, you'll end up with 12 ounces. And this also has a sensor here. It can, when you don't have it on the carafe, it doesn't turn the warming plate on. But if you have it in carafe mode for the quantity, it will turn the warming plate on. So we can set it right here. And even though in the bottom of this brew basket there's a plunger, the machine can lift that plunger up to start the brew and stop it. And it's going to bloom the coffee. So when we first start this coffee maker, it's not going to let water come out. It is going to do something, and it says here in the directions what it does. Okay, it says automatically blooms the coffee grounds for 24 seconds, 8 cup carafe, and 40 seconds for all single serve drinks. So it's going to keep this closed for 40 seconds, and then you'll hear like a little motor, and then after 40 seconds, it opens it up. Then what it does, it lets the hot water build up in there, bloom the coffee. We're going to try to catch that. It's really cool how it does that. I'm all ready. This is so simple. I've got my over ice, 12 ounce, hit the brew button. This is right here. Now that's going to turn to a countdown timer. In just a little bit. And it's very quiet, and it uses a water pump to run the water through the heating element. So you don't get that gushing, that really loud puffing sound you get with a traditional coffee maker. After a minute and a half now, it's gonna, see again, nothing's coming out. The machine is putting water into here, see? It's blooming the coffee, and now it's going to start letting it out. This is pretty cool how this does this. It's really filling that coffee thing, that filter basket up. There. It opens it up, and now we're brewing hot coffee. I do want to get some temperatures. That water coming out is hot. You have to brew this into a thing of ice. So that, again, it's 174. So it's pretty much done here up at the top. I hear the water pump, see? We had a really big coffee bloom. Now the water's draining out the bottom. Again, it did not brew 12 ounces, but you're going to end up with 12 ounces when you're all done. I suspect that was about 6 ounces. And then the neat thing about it is, when this countdown timer is done, it's going to beep at you, and then it stops that from dripping. And we'll catch it here. In real life, the display is steady. There, see? Wow, that's so cool. Okay, let's take a look. We got a bunch of ice melt. You could add some more ice. It's going to be a pretty refreshing drink. Anytime you get down around 35 degrees, it is a cold, refreshing drink. I don't drink iced coffee like that. I have to add milk and some sugar. Here's some French vanilla. About a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons, which is about 4 or 5 pumps. Let's make a vanilla iced coffee. I do use quite a bit of milk when I'm making these. All right. I wish I could do smaller quantities. Here's what the coffee looks like. Again, taking it out, super easy. Throw away the filter basket, but I'm gonna do a really quick test. I wanna do a 12 ounce. I wanna see how much over ice, 12 ounce. I wanna see how much comes out while I do a taste test here. All right, let's give it a taste test. All right, there's our iced coffee. I could have added a few more ice cubes, but okay. That's a delicious tasting iced coffee. It has a very smooth and flavorful coffee. Now again, you're in control of how much milk you add. You can add almond milk whatever kind you want, and sugar. Adding the sugar and the milk really take away a lot of the bitterness. I can't drink black coffee because it's just that it has that really bitter taste to me. But when you add the milk and sugar, now this has a strong coffee taste, but it's not the bitter taste. And it is cold and it is refreshing. So you could make an entire carafe of iced coffee. Again, fill this up with ice, put your coffee, it's gonna tell you how much coffee grounds to add, okay? That's a nice feature. So you're gonna have to kind of keep this scoop. If you lose the scoop, again, the top of it is 3 tablespoons. And then it has a part for tea, which is 1 tablespoon. So just like I suspected, 6 ounces, half of what you're calling for. Now, if I did a hot coffee, that would be a full 12 ounces, all the way up to here with 12 ounces. And same with, the carafe. That's pretty typical. When you do an over ice, they brew half the amount that you're calling for. And again, that's all has to do with ice melt. Ice melts, gives you the proper dilution, and now you have, this is a 12-ounce iced coffee. Yeah, just as I suspected. Right at 6 ounces. Has a really cool sensor too. The drip stop, when you have the carafe installed, see how there's not a plunger to do that? When you remove the carafe, this sensor closes that and stops the brew till you put this back. Only when you have the carafe installed, not when you're brewing a full carafe, not when you're doing these cups. Now again, unlike a traditional coffee maker, this is only an 8-cup carafe. So typical coffee makers are 12 cups. Again, if you could, I really would appreciate the support. This is my coffee. I branded it Just a Dad Simple Sip Coffee. It stands up hot or ice. It's a medium to dark roast. It's not a full dark roast. It's not a full medium roast. It's right there in the middle. It stands up hot or iced. It really does taste really good. And again, all that can be found at justadadcoffee.com. Now, I bought this coffee maker with my own money. I wasn't paid for this video. Again, I'm still deciding, $300. That is an extreme amount for a coffee maker. It is SCA certified, which is a kind of a big deal. And so far with my temperature testing, it seems to be pretty good. It was, in my previous video when I brewed hot coffee, the bloom was amazing for a full pot of coffee. It was pretty cool. So the very next video, what are we doing? We're doing Express Cold Brew. Not sure what that's going to be. So again, $300. I'll put a link to it underneath the show description notes. So far, so good. It does seem really, really nice. Only thing is you can't go in their kitchen cabinets. That's 22.5 inches tall. So, but not bad. Not bad. Looks very nice for a Mr. Coffee Maker. This is really wild that they would come out with an SCA coffee maker. And again, yeah, there's that SCA Specialty Coffee Association. That is kind of a big deal. They have to conform to lots of testing. We got time, and they talk about the bloom and the steep. That's called steeping when they adjust it. Don't let the water out right away. So yeah, so far so good. I will also be comparing this to the $12 Mr. Coffee Maker. So Mr. Coffee also makes one of the cheapest coffee makers. It's around $12 with just a switch on off. So I will be comparing it to that. So look for that video coming soon. Thanks everybody for watching. If you could hit the thumbs up and the subscribe, I really would appreciate it. Also be sure and check out my coffee, Just a Dad Simple Sip Coffee. You can buy it at justadadcoffee.com, or underneath the video there'll be a little pop-up where you can buy it off of my store. That'll take you to justadadcoffee.com. I sell it in the whole bean and the ground coffee and in the K-Cup. And I ordered mine about a week ago, and that's what I've been using in this espresso machine, and I absolutely love it. The beans look a little bit light, but it's a dark to medium roast. I think it tastes really good. I've had iced coffee, regular coffees, and I've had espressos. So this coffee, the coffee that I sell, does really good with espresso, iced coffee, cold brew coffee, and just regular coffee in this machine. And also other drip coffee makers. So if you're looking for a coffee bean that just works in the brand new Ninja espresso machine, Just a Dad Simple Sip Coffee. So if you could give me a follow over on Instagram, and I have 2 Facebook pages, a Facebook page and a Facebook group page. I really would appreciate a follow. I do free giveaways there and kind of behind the scenes and how things are going. And that's the best way to communicate with me. My group page, you can leave a post and I'll try to answer it as soon as I can, but that's the best way to ask me questions and to see what's going on with the page. And again, I do use affiliate links. I am an affiliate with Shark and Ninja, Amazon and Walmart. So if one of the links down below, you click on it, it takes you to one of those websites and you end up purchasing the product. The product won't cost you anymore, but I will get a small commission from the sale. It is a way of helping support my channel. That way I can continue to do these videos that I love. I really do appreciate everybody's support. If you could hit the thumbs up button, that really does help out my YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe, leave in the comments if you'd like to see something else reviewed or this compared to something. I look at the comments and I really do appreciate everybody's feedback. So again, if you could, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.